Also, if you have any question regarding the session or anything, raise your hand and your mic will be unmuted. So since this session is getting recorded, so that's why all the participants are having their mics mute. Okay, now I'll share my screen. Just let me know if my screen is visible. Okay, how will you save it? Okay, it's already allowed for the participants. So I guess my screen is visible. Can anyone just
Yes,
say
it
that?
is.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so sorry for the noise coming from the fan. It's just too much RAM. So yeah. So let's start with today's session. And it's loading. Okay. So welcome everyone and good evening to everyone present right now in the session. So today's session is about JavaScript for beginners using Visual Studio Code. So also at the end, I will show you how to publish the JavaScript code to GitHub using the uh, GitHub. And also for the people who don't know how to use terminal, I will show you some tricks that you don't have to use terminal at all and you can still publish your code. So yeah. So firstly, let me introduce myself. Hi, I am Shantini Dev. I am a Alpha Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. Also, I am a chapter lead of Codecademy Northeast India. I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering, and right now I'm in my second year. Okay, so today's agenda, the things that we'll be learning today. So just let's recap all of that. So firstly, we will be learning about some basic concepts of JavaScript, then setting up the development environment, how to use JavaScript in browsers, a code along project. Uh, Hello. Okay, I'll ask everyone to mute your mics, or else I have to unmute everyone. So I just don't want to do that. Okay, anyway, I just did it. Okay, so any questions regarding the sessions? It will be taken at the end of the session. So yes, to avoid any kind of disturbance, I have to mute the mics. So as I was saying that today's agenda is about this thing, and at the end of the session we will also fork a repository and publish it, and there will be a small homework for all of you guys. So now the disclaimer is that for the eligibility of the certificates, you have to attend the whole session. So it's not like just you stay here for the first 15 minutes and then you're like poof away. So you have to be there till the entire duration and the video will be monitored and the attendance will be seen and accordingly the certificates will be given. Okay, now let's get to JavaScript. Now, when we say about JavaScript, the first question might come to your mind that why JavaScript? I mean, like we already have HTML, CSS to learn, and now JavaScript too. And how is it any different? So to answer that, HTML is basically like the skeleton of a human body. So like you see, HTML is the framework of a web page. So just like us humans, we are nothing without the skeleton. So like suppose we have all muscles and clothes and everything, but underneath there is nothing to hold us, then like we will be never be able to stand up, like we will just poof away. So for that reason, HTML is a very important thing. But just using HTML, it is not enough. Like a web page having HTML is like a very beginner project. Like people are taught HTML in class 5 and 6, and even right now we learn HTML because it's very important. But just using HTML in your web pages, it will make the web page look very dull. So to like make it all nice and cool, here comes CSS. So the full form of CSS is basically cascading style sheet. It basically gives an appearance to the web page. For example, like we humans wear clothes according to our style sense. Like some people have amazing, cool, dashing fashion sense, and some people are like not low-key nice. But like in general, we all wear clothes. We all want to hold the appearance in front of some people. So CSS is like the clothing and the appearance part of the human body. Now comes JavaScript, the most important part about the interactivity of web pages. So let's go back to the example of human body again. Now, if it was just skeleton and clothes, would we be able to ever locomote? Locomote as in like go from one place to another, or even like suppose we are in a fight, I want to hit you, so it won't be possible. Okay, let's forget about the hitting part. This whole stuff won't be possible if it was not JavaScript. So the JavaScript is like the muscles of our body, which helps in interaction and makes us much more alive. So when a web page have JavaScript embedded in it, that's what give the web page interactivity and everything. So now what can we do with JavaScript? Earlier, we could only make interactive web pages, like only for interactive web pages, JavaScript was made. But now these days, we can make so many other stuffs like web applications or mobile applications, then real-time networking apps, command line tools, or even games. Now, where does JavaScript run? Originally, it was designed to run only in browser. So every browser have what we call a JavaScript engine which execute JavaScript code. So let me break it down to you. Like if you don't even have any development editor, like you don't have Visual Studio Code, you don't have any compiler in your machine, you can still run JavaScript. How? Like any browser we have right now, like for example, I have Google Chrome, I can just go to console and then I can write the any valid JavaScript code over there and that will be implemented. So then in 2008, Node was introduced. It is a C++ program that has Google's V8 JavaScript engine. So now even outside JavaScript browser also we can run JavaScript. So in a nutshell, this basically means that JavaScript code can be run in a browser as well as outside it. So like how cool is that, right? So coming, let's go to the next slide. It's about setting up the development editor. So as a prerequisite side that I understood at the end of the moment, I have sent mails to everyone who registered for the event with the following link of Visual Studio Code and Node. So you don't actually require Node for doing JavaScript, but it is highly recommended if you want to make nice web applications and stuff. So just go to this link and also the links are also provided in your respective emails if you want to look back to that, and just download the latest version of Node.js and also Visual Studio Code. And yeah, that is all you need for this. And also in the following session, I will help you develop, help you set up the whole development editor, like how you can simultaneously code and also see what the hell, whatever you are doing, like in the web browser. So yeah, now moving forward to some basic concepts of JavaScript. Now comes variables. It's very important. For example, any one of you who have a prior programming language have already come across this term variables. And also if you have not, let me break it down to you. So firstly, as you can see, variable is a container for data that is stored in computer memory. And there are three types of variables: let, constant, and var. Now, if I want to break it down the code to you, it's like just putting the value Tammy inside the variable name. So over here, let is the declaration of the variable, name is the identifier, and Tammy is the value that we are storing inside the variable. So same thing we are doing for constant and same thing we are doing for var. And now when we are logging onto console, so when we write this name of the variable, this will print accordingly Tammy, false and 3. So if you are still not understanding what is happening, let me show you with an example. So suppose you take an empty box and the name of the box is name. I know it's a pretty glitchy example, but yeah, the name of the box is actually name. Okay. So inside the box right now, I am storing the value Tammy. So if I want to again, like Tammy is already stored, but I also want to store Shayantini. So it can still be like it is still taking it. So why is it still taking it? Because it's a let variable. As in the let declaration allows you to change the value inside the variable as many times as you want. So like for example, now you don't only want name to be associated with Shantini, you want to associate it with Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador. So it will have it as well. So now let's get back to another presentation. Oops, a little bit of glitch. So here over here, Tammy is stored, but when we are doing it for Shantini, it's like a no, it can't be happening. So we can guess from the above slides that why is it happening? Because the declaration of the variable is constant. So when we already associate this variable with the value Tammy, the next time when I want to associate the value Shantini to it, it won't accept it. Like the code will throw all error. So you can do it yourself also in the code editor, and also I'll show you at the end. So yeah, hang in there. Now come to the next slide, which is functions. Now functions is a reusable set of statements to perform a task or calculate a value. So if you already have a prior programming knowledge, you will already understand that what is happening inside functions, as in just like any other programming language. For example, mostly we learn C, right? Or even Python. Okay, let's just don't go to the programming languages. In JavaScript, function is just like function. So over here, whenever we are declaring a function, we have to declare it with function keyword. So this is the keyword function, and this sum is the identifier. Now num1, num2 are parameters, and inside the function, this is what we call the function body. So over here, the add like we add this num1 and num2, and this whole function, whenever it is called, it provides the value of the addition of the two parameters. So yes, it's a lot of things one at a time. So let's go for the declarations. For example, as I have written it here, suppose function as a keyword. So function is always keyword, like you cannot change the keyword. It has to be functions only. And for example, identifier, it can be changed to anything. So take identifier as the name of the function. For example, over here, the name of the function was sum, and here name of the function is greet world. So inside greet world, there are no parameters, because inside the function body also we did not have to use it. But suppose you want to, like you want this function to do something, you want it to do, like why nothing. So to have some matlab, mathematical operators inside the function, we define parameters in it. So over here, since there are no parameters, so it's of no use, but still you can understand whenever this function will be called, and for calling function you have to just write the name of the function along with its parameters. So over here, like parameters will be changing to arguments, and suppose like num1, num2, the value of num1 is given 3, value of num2 is given 6. So whenever I'll call the function, 9 will come because 3 plus 6 is equals to 9. For example, when you do greet world and you just write this braces, so you will just get hello world printed in your console. So now let's go to arrow function. Arrow function is something like uh, writing functions the easy way. For example, you are someone who don't like to write a lot of codes and really just don't like just like me doing it the easy way. So like in functions, we have to write the keyword as well as the name of the function and like so many stuff, right? So in arrow function, the things are much simpler. You have to just declare the function in a variable constant and just write the parameters. So suppose you have one parameter, then you will just write the parameter. But if you have two parameters, you will write it inside the bracket use and have the difference with a comma and then use this fat arrow. Fat arrow is actually basically the equal to sign with the greater than sign. So it's like a bow, or yeah, it's just like an arrow. So we just write this. So over here you can see the difference very much vaguely. Like just right here when we are writing function, we have to use keyword, identifier. Also inside identifier there are parameters, but over here it's just constant sum, and also sometime you don't have to write this, and directly parameters, and also you don't have to write the whole function keyword. So directly from here you can go for the fat arrow function, and then right like this is the whatever is happening inside the curly braces is basically your function body. So it doesn't matter what you write inside the function body, it can be anything. For example, over here it's return first param plus second param. So generally, like whatever is happening is this two parameters are getting added, like it's the same addition function like we have done in previously. So next we go to console.log and sum 2 comma 5, so we get 7 printed. Now when we are talking about parameters and arguments, you must be like so confused what the hell she's saying. So to understand it nicely, here it is. So suppose it's a function with a parameter width and area. So you can see in the diagram above, calculate area computes the area of the rectangle based on two inputs, width and height. So if I have to officially introduce parameters to you, it is basically it allows the function to accept inputs and perform a task using the inputs. So yeah, that is what it is. So over here, parameters are treated like variables within a function. So this is the general and basic definition of parameters. Now moving forward to arguments. Now when we already declared the function, like suppose here function, this function will just multiply the width and height and print it to the console. So I wanted to, like, whenever I want this thing to happen, I want to call it. So this is like we are calling the function. So when we call the function calculate area, we just take the name of the function and we write the arguments. So let's go back. Calculate area is here the identifier. So we write calculate area and 10 comma 6. So 10 was the width. So now the initial width parameter is now assigned to the value 10 and breadth parameter is assigned to the value 6. So now these are like arguments as values and these are the identifiers. So yeah, that is what, like, it's pretty much easy. So you just call the function like this. So whenever you will call it, this will print 10 into 6, which is 60. So like this you will get the area of the rectangle. Just like we know already, length into breadth gives you the area of the rectangle, right? So yeah, now to some very important stuffs about JavaScript is the document object model. So DOM here stands for document object model. So basically it treats any HTML document as a tree structure. wherein each node as in this blocks, is an object representing a part of the document. So when we talk about document, you must be like, what is document? Document is like the whole code in general, like the whole stuff. So in when we'll be going ahead in the session, you will also come across document dot element by id. So over there, whenever we write document, it's like selecting the whole web page, like the whole code which is like there in the web page. So that is what it is. So document document is basically the whole stuff. So when we treat HTML document as a tree structure, these nodes come as representing the object part of the document, and a document represents like a DOM represents a document with a logical tree. So you can see accordingly like the tree coming from here. So if I have to decode it one by one, suppose this document is the whole stuff. So HTML, like we all know the basic HTML layout, right? HTML may firstly head comes, head tag, then body, like inside like head title, and then inside body we write the whole code, like everything that will be shown in the web page, that will be written in the body tag. And then we close the body tag, and then we close the HTML tag. And inside the body, a lot of attributes and a lot of other small codes are written. So yeah, this document object model is also seen in XML. So if you're familiar with XML, you will also see like XML is also having the similar code structure like HTML, same tree structure, like it generally comes from a parent, and then it descends to like children nodes like this. So XML and HTML have a similar kind of DOM, document object model. So now let's go to DOM events with JavaScript. So when I talk about DOM events, you must be like, what is an event? So when we refresh our email box, like we like all of us might do, because we are all techie people, so we will be expecting a lot of emails. So like I don't know about you all, but whenever I wake up, I at least like open my Google Mail and at least refresh it twice or thrice to see like I will get any secret email or something like that from any company. Anyway, jokes apart. So when we refresh our email box or double tap on a post in Instagram, so double tapping on Instagram is to like for everyone. All of us, mostly all of us use Instagram. So whenever we have to like uh, suppose we like a picture of the person we like, so we double tap on it, and as soon as we double tap, a bubble of love comes up. So all of this are like a event. And also scrolling through the Facebook newsfeed, even that is a event. So something happens in our browser in that time. So these actions are known as events. So events on the web are user interaction and browser manipulations that we can program to functionality. So now some example of events are mouse clicking on a button. Right now I don't have a button, but yeah, further I will show you code of a button. So over there you will see. Then web page files loading in the browser, users swiping right on an image. So this is pretty much common if you have ever uses any dating apps. But yeah, so user swiping right on an image is also a JavaScript event. So if you're using a dating app, you already know how to make it. So let's go to the next thing, add event listener. So an event listener is actually a procedure in JavaScript that waits for an event to occur. So the add event listener is an inbuilt function in JavaScript which takes the event to listen for and a second argument to be called whenever the described event gets fired. So don't worry if you're not understanding it right now. I'll explain it in Visual Studio Code. So over here you can just see the code over here, event target dot add event listener. So you can also use any other element right here, and we are right now targeting event and event handler function. So when I do the code along project, that time I guess you will understand it better. For now, the theory part, you can just understand this much. Okay, so now we will go to get element by ID. So this is one of the code that is used in JavaScript a lot of times. So JavaScript document dot get element by ID. As I said, when we write document, we are like, so what does this code mean? This code means like this code will search all the like search when we write document. So this method searches the whole web page for this ID, and when it finds ID, it like triggers it. So it is basically a DOM method used to return the element that has the ID attribute with the specified value. And yeah, so that is it. That's what happens with JavaScript document.getElement by ID. Now, I guess you guys are so tired with this whole theory thing. So I will start with some basic practical things. So uh, I will be teaching about the how to use JavaScript in web browser, as I told you earlier. Okay, wait, some people are waiting in the lobby. Uh-oh, let me add them. Okay, there are people admitting, but still there are people. Okay, so let's see JavaScript implementation in browser. So we know already that we don't really need anything for JavaScript to like work, right? So as I said, go to any web browser. Like for example, I have come to Google Chrome. So right now, just right click and you will find inspect element. So you can see a lot of HTML codes out here, but just forget about it. Go to console because it's a JavaScript session, right? So over here, if you write any valid JavaScript code, it will be like showcased here. So any valid JavaScript code, suppose I have written, these are mathematical operators, but like suppose I have written, these are coming. So now valid JavaScript code, suppose such as I want to print log console to this, hello MLSA and semicolon. So hello MLSA is returned. Now, one more important thing which I have also come to know recently is how to get a dialog box pop up. So it is also pretty much easy. Just write alert and then whatever you are feeling, like wow, this session is so exciting. Okay, no, not that much of confidence. Okay, I love MLSA, something like this, and you will get a pop-up of I love MLSA. So that is how much easy it is to code in JavaScript, right? So let's get back to Visual Studio Code as I promised. So I hope everyone has already downloaded Visual Studio Code, and if you have not downloaded, then just go and download. I will just show you something in Visual Studio Code. uh, Before that, uh, yeah, to set up the Visual Studio Code so that you can code at the same time, you can see what the hell is happening in the code. So I will tell you, just go to Visual Studio Code and then go to extensions. Over here in extensions, you will find live server. So live server, yeah, found it. So since I have already installed live server, so it's showing uninstall, but for you people who have not installed it, it will show uninstall. So just go and install it. So live server is basically a lightweight web server which helps in serving web applications. So whenever you're coding and like whenever we do in Notepad, like suppose if you have a HTML background, so whenever you code in any code editor, you have to go back and forth and refresh the web page whenever you make changes. So with live server, you don't have to do it. Like you will just code it and it will pop up in the like browser wherever you are doing it. So now this after doing all of this, you have to actually close Visual Studio Code and then restart it. Only then live server will come into play, or else there are many people who actually face a lot of trouble, like even after installing they are not able to like implement live server. So this is the trick to that. Just restart the Visual Studio Code and this will come back to life. Yeah. So now let's go to GitHub. So for every one of you who does not have a GitHub account, this will show to you, actually not this, basically might be this one will be showing to you, sign into GitHub. And suppose you don't have a GitHub account, so you'll go to create an account and then the rest is history. I mean, of course, you know it by now that enter your email and everything you will write and blah blah stuff, and then you'll create a GitHub account and then you will sign into it. Then what I want you to do is you have to go to this link, which is Shandini Dev MLSA JS workshop. So I know a lot of you can't be accessing the conversation box. So wait, I will write it out for you. Notepad. So all the people for like whom it is too much small and you're not able to see, where did it go? Wait. Yeah. So I'll just write it here. So if you if you have completed writing this link, I want you to go to this link because it's going to be very important, because this project is what I will be working on. So yeah, just go to this link and after you have visited the link, just raise your hand, okay? Like, yeah. So wait, I will see it simultaneously. Yeah. Just raise your hand, whoever has completed and gone to this link. If I want, I can share the link in the conversation box as well, but I don't think it will be accessible. Okay, yeah, a lot of people are raising hands. 3 till now. Okay, 4. I'll go with the majority. Okay, I can think 4 is a majority. Okay, a lot of people are raising hands. Okay. So also for the people who are not raising hands, are still stuck, don't worry. I will be sharing all the links at the end of the session. Also, like in your mail, so you will not be like behind or anything like that. Okay. So yeah, again for like couple of minutes, I'll be just here if you want to. So okay, I think it's enough time. So let me read it out to you in case you're blind. It's just https then / github.com / Anthony Dev / MLSA -js -workshop. So yeah, just write it from here. I guess it will come up. Yeah. Okay, fine. I guess I'll move forward. So when you come here, you will find this page popping up. So I have actually logged in the GitHub from another account so that I can show you this. So after coming to this page, what you have to do is you have to fork this repository. So since I have already forked it, so for me it is showing you have already forked MLSA JS workshop. So for you guys, it will be showing fork it. So you have to fork the repository, and after forking the repository, wait, let me go to my forked repository. Yeah, so only after going to your forked repository, you will be able to make changes. Like this is your repository where you will be able to make changes. Like this is a copy of my repository. So you won't be able to make changes to my actual repository until and unless I give you the collaborator permission. So for like avoiding all of that, like you want to still add to your stuff and everything, you have to just fork repository. And this is how actually basically open source and everything happens. people like just go to projects and fork repository, then implement their codes and then merge it. So like if people like create a PR, so if they are the owner of the project is happy with the PR, they generally accepts it, and yeah, you were like a ticket to open source. Yeah. Anyway, so now what I want you to do is, for people who have Git installed, yes, you can already use Git terminal and command line or else anything else. But also I am expecting a lot of beginners right now. So don't worry. If you are a beginner, it's just the right session for you, because also I have been a beginner. So you will just go here in the code section and you will download the zip folder. Also, I will suggest you to obviously learn the command line, because if you're a coder, so you should know. But right now, for now, just download the zip folder. So when you will be downloading the zip folder, it will be getting saved in your downloads folder. So let's get back to it. Now a lot of minimizations will work. Wait. So after going to your downloads folder, all I have to do is, let me just copy this stuff and I'll paste it over here. Yeah. So this is a Z folder, right? Now you have to extract it so that you can actually access the whole stuff. So after extracting it, boom, it's right there. So now go back to your Visual Studio Code where you have already like enabled your live server. Now what I want you to do is open this folder. So how will you open this folder? If you are new to Visual Studio Code, this thing might pop up, open folder, clone repository. But suppose you are not new, you have been using VS Code for a long time, you have to just go to file and then open folder. Now from open folder, wherever you have saved that thing, the zip folder which I just told you to save it, go there and select folder. Okay, so yeah, you will get the folder opened in your VS Code. Now it's all set for you to do stuffs, and I'm sorry for the fan sound again. Now I will let's make you comfortable with whatever I'm doing with get element by ID. So since I have already written the code for you, because after the session I don't have to pull request it. So now I will do it step by step. So as we have already learned about get element by ID, now let's implement it. So firstly, what you have to do is you have to create an index.html. So for creating an index.html, all you have to do is like new file and then write the name of the file. So for me, I have written index, the name, and then end it with .html. So remember to end it with .html so that, yeah, it ends up in a HTML for section, not in some other section. Okay. So then go for exclamation mark and enter. So now this will generate a basic boilerplate, HTML boilerplate for you. So let's not go inside the code. Inside this boilerplate, there are meta and everything. So don't go into that. You don't need it. So right now, just focus on the HTML part. So after writing it, you can give a title to your HTML. Like for example, since I am so self-obsessed, I will just write Shantani Deb. But if you are not self-obsessed, you can write anything else. Okay, anyway. So right now, whatever you want to showcase inside your web page, you have to write inside the body tag. So like if you write, I love MLSA, okay, twice in a day, and then just click here and write open with live server. Let's see. See, I love MLSA popped up. Yeah, but I really don't want you to write it right now. What I want you to showcase is get element by ID, right? So let's start with a paragraph tag. So this is a paragraph tag for everyone who don't know, and this is I am giving an ID attribute to the paragraph tag. So I will name this paragraph element. So now inside the paragraph tag, I want to write something. Suppose I'll write get element by ID since we are learning that only. So yeah, that will be okay. Get element ID ho gaya. Get element by ID. Okay, yeah. So now if I just, like, yeah, do this and I showcase you it in live server, it will show you get element by ID. So like what happened? You just used HTML, right? Nothing will happen. Don't have so much expectations with just HTML. So here comes script element to your play. So now I will say, like, tell you something. You can add script element, script tag anywhere in your HTML, like anywhere as in inside the head tag or inside the body tag. But the best practice is adding the script element at the end of the body tag, because it helps, like saves a lot of time if you are loading a page and suppose your JavaScript is a very long JavaScript. So if you have implemented, if you have like embedded script element inside your head tag, the whole page will take a lot of time to load. So to just avoid all those melodrama, always add the script tag, I mean script element, at the end of the body tag. Okay, so now I will add script, and this is how I do inline JavaScript. So even like if you don't want to do inline JavaScript, you can also use script src and then link your JavaScript file. So that is also cool and that is also like happening. But right now, since the code is small, why would I need another like folder, I mean file at all? So here what I'll do is right now I'll create a variable with var. So since I already told you, like var is a declaration of a variable, so now it's var, and the name of var will be s, suppose, because s for Shantini. Anyway, so now going back to it, I'll write document dot get element by id. So what I'm doing is like, see, I have written document again. So flashback, whenever I write document, the whole document is being searched for this id. So now I'll write the id which I want to actually like search for. So I'll write the id because the only id I have implemented in the HTML is element. So I'll write id element, and now dot inner HTML. So let's see what happens. I also don't know what will happen. So let's see. Document dot write s. So yeah, it's a little bit out of the syllabus, but yeah, what is that actually happening is like it is fetching the ID element and from inner HTML, and then it will again write whatever it is inside the ID. Like again, it will write it. So document.write will write the whole thing that is inside this ID. So since this ID is associated with this tag paragraph, and inside the paragraph there is get element by id, so basically with this code it means that get element by id will be printed twice. So that is what I wanted to show. Now let's see what really happens, and if it does not happen then to flop. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, wait, there is some errors. So I have to see the error here. Get element by id var as document dot get element by id. There must not be any error. I don't know why it's showing error. Okay, wait. My laptop is hanging. Yeah, it's hanging. Okay. Let's just forget about that glitch. To err is humans, so human beings are so much like human beings make errors. So yeah, okay, I did not actually make any error. It was the error of the computer. As I said, I'm never mistaken. Anyway, so as I said, get element by ID will be printed twice, and that is what happened. Get element by ID has been printed twice because we have written inside the script tag document.writeS, and that's why it will be printed like whatever is inside uh, the ID tag element, that thing will be printed again. So the first thing, like the first time when it is getting printed, it is because of HTML, and the second time when it is getting printed, it is because of JavaScript. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to uh, make you understand. And wow, so many things happened. So the next thing which I will make you understand is, wait. So we already did, wait, I want to just make another folder. So second.html is the second thing that I'm going to make. So over here, uh, I will uh, I will make you understand about the add event listeners. So add event listeners, for suppose wait. So I'll just write a basic HTML code. So this will be very basic. Like if you know HTML, you will understand what I'm doing. But even if you don't know HTML, don't worry. I will also make you understand the HTML part of the code. So over here, I am like embedding the input tag. So input tag is basically when we go to web pages. So basically shopping web pages or any portfolio, so we always see this submission form or like contact form and something like that. So when we see there, we see those sections like write your email address, then name and everything. So all those things are actually made with the help of input tag. So over here, when I write type button, this input thing will actually generate input which will be in a shape of a button, like it will be auto generated. Okay, but if I would have written something else, it will be, yeah, like there are a lot of types in the input tag. So let's not go over there. So for now, what we are doing is we will write an ID to, like we'll specify ID to this input tag. So suppose I want to do it event click. So as I did event click with type button, and value is click me, but don't click me guys. Yeah, so click me, and yeah, this is all cool and amazing. So let's just see what happened actually in the HTML thing, I mean in the web browser. See, you can see that here there is click me, click me, click me, click me. A small button came. I hope you can see. So yeah, so a small button popped up as click me. So because I have written the click me thing. So now I won't go back to Visual Studio Code since I have already like started with JavaScript in web browser. So now let's take JavaScript from the web browser itself. Now let's go to console. So in console, what I want you to write is again document dot get element by ID. Why we are doing it? Because I want that whenever this click me will be like clicked, that time alert box will be popping up. So now what I'm doing is I will fetch the ID. The ID, what was the name of the ID? The name of the ID was event click. So I will fetch the ID with the help of, as we already know, the magic behind it. Event, what was it again? My short time memory loss. Yeah, event click, and this and this. Okay, yeah. So when I write this thing, this is basically searching the whole document, as in the whole HTML code, and finding the ID event click to give it like assess it to some function. Okay, so as I already know about it, why to go back to it again and again? What I want you to do right now, I want the console to print out the JavaScript object. So I'm going to write directory, and yeah, yes, that's it. Yeah, directory. So now a thing will appear. So when you click it, you can see all the events which like all the events that will be available for this event, like for this particular code itself. So how will you know it's a particular event? So although I did not teach you, but there are a lot of JavaScript events, and like whenever it starts with on blur, on cancel, on can play, on click, on close. So on click is what we will do actually, like we will on clicking it, alert box will come. So actually this is the number of events associated that has appeared. So okay, I don't really need to see this all this melodrama. So what I want to do is I want to make this function happen. So I'll write again document. Okay, let's not write it again and again. What I'll do is, yeah, uh, and then cancel this. And yeah, after writing the same code, now I will attach the function on click to it. Oh, I forgot to tell you one thing. So when we did like directory, so you can go and see on click over here. Although on click is an event, there are no values assigned to it. That's why it's showing null. So if you want, like these are the like only not on click. There are so many other events on mouse down. Everything can be applied to this thing. But since these are not written, so like not applied till now, so the values are showing null. But if you want to code it, you can. So now I'm going to assign a value to on click. On click. On click is equals to function. So what I'm doing right now is the lengthy way, and I'll also show you how to do it with add event listener, because we don't really want lengthy stuffs to be, at least I don't. So yeah, so see, after writing the code, I will tell you what is exactly happening. Hello worlds. Okay, now, okay, I guess it's done. So you can see the function alert hello world coming up. So what we are doing, we are assigning the like assigning the value of function alert hello world to the method on click. So this will actually basically like do what you want to get. So now I don't really want you to do this in this very lengthy way. Now comes play of add event listener. So when I do it once, it generally actually shows you like how you can like attach a JavaScript to a function. But if I do it with this method, then only one function can be attached to an event. Like only if I click it once, then only one dialog box will appear, not more than one. Like I can't associate more than one event. So to associate more than one event, I have to use add event listener, and also add event listener has a lot of benefits. So just let's go directly to it, or yeah, the direct part would be better. So again, let's go back to the code that we have written uh, without the achano document.element.id, and here before on click function I will add event listener. So you can see a lot of functions coming up. Yeah, so since I have already done it before, so these are coming, but yeah, you won't have it appearing on your side because it will be a first time, or yeah, whatever we'll be doing, like creativity will come in the first time, right? So add event listener is attached, and at the same time I will write click function. So since I've already done it, so why to do it again and again? So I like this, but I'll change the alert name. Instead of hello world, let's do something better. Like what to write? I guess all of you are movie fans, so a lot of you will know about Eternals. So let's write Eternals is amazing. Yeah, sorry. So, okay, people are waiting in the lobby. Let me just, okay, yeah. Uh, yeah. So Eternals is amazing. I have written here. And after writing this, actually nothing will happen because maybe I have written it right. Yeah. So the code is basically the same as you have done before. Document.getElementById by ID event click, and instead of writing dot on click function directly, I have attached event handler, that is dot add event listener, and then given the event click which will function, and it will give a alert box. Eternals is amazing. Now press enter. Now after pressing enter, I guess it will come. Yeah, see, okay, no, it is not coming. The hello world part is coming. Okay, now Eternals is amazing is coming. So you can see, because like I have written the code twice, so it is Eternals is amazing is coming. So this part of the code is actually of uh, the native, like the traditional long way that I did, and Eternals is amazing is actually the unified code that you actually should use while using JavaScript. So I don't want to do this hello world and internals is amazing all the time. So let's refresh the page and let's all start from the beginning, because yeah, beginning is the new beginning. So yeah, let's again write document dot get element by ID, and again event click add listeners. Eternals is amazing. It is coming up. So when I just do this, only Eternals is amazing will come up. Okay. So yeah, but now the benefit of dot add event listener. So if you just write document, okay, let's not write it again and again, and just delete this part and delete everything and just skip it till add event listener and just press enter. You will see add event listener and native code coming into play. So what is exactly native code? So native code is nothing but it's a JavaScript inbuilt code. So it's like a JavaScript most recommended event code. So whenever you are using this function, JavaScript is the one who is telling you use my native code. And why to use it? Because this function is already in its bytecode. So while compiling, you don't really need a lot of time. The add event listener will not take a lot of time to like showcase the results. But when you use just on click function, at that time it will take a lot of time. So that's why this native code is okay. Some people are waiting in the lobby. Okay, admitted. So that's why dot add event listener is actually used because of its faster and amazing thing. So as I told you, uh, add event listener, I have already done it. Now I also want to do like another pop-up, like one after another, two, three pop-ups will come up. So with just on click function, it was not possible, but with add event listener, it will be possible. How? Wait, I'll show you one thing. If you just delete this part and you go to writing the directory to see the interactive list of all the things coming up. Wait. So you can see that even though I have associated like on click function with the help of add event listener, but still the on click, yeah, on click, where is on click? It's somewhere. Okay, let's scroll a bit more. I'm not able to see on click. What is, yeah, so yeah, found out on click. So you can still see that onClick is not having its value assigned. It's still showing null. So what does this mean? It means that you can still attach as many as values to this event and it will still showcase, because that is the amazing thing about the native code, like amazing thing about add event listener. So let's do another pop-up. We already did eternals is amazing. So now I want to do uh, colleges are opening. I don't want colleges to open. Okay, anyway, colleges are opening. This is the very sad part, but yeah. And also I want to do movies are fun. So like so many things, so many alert box you can actually generate. So when you do click me, first of all, Eternals is amazing will come, colleges is all is are opening will come, and then movies are fun. Wow, so many stuff one after another. So like if you want anyone to spam with a lot of dialog boxes, so this is the code you should use. Like just spam them away. So no, not recommended. But yeah, for any creative usage you can always use it, but yeah, not recommended, not coming from my side. Okay. So after all of this thing, let's go to uh, actual project. This is what we actually understood, like add event listener and get element by id. Okay, so now let's go to a project. So the project that we will be doing today, let's see, it's basically, oh wait, 1 second. It's not, how to delete this? Okay, yeah. So it's basically a toggle button which will do from night version to dark version, I mean light version. So it's like you can, like you have already seen in a lot of applications, if you use Twitter, and then Facebook also have it right now, and mostly every applications now have this dark mode on, light mode on. So this thing is also with the help of JavaScript, although like large applications like them, they use React and other things. But yeah, for your small websites, cute websites, you can use JavaScript. So here the changes that are seen, basically it's like the background when it is white, that time the letters are in black, and when I go back to dark mode, when the background is black, the letters are in white. So there are two changes are happening. So basically when we see it, it's like wow, so amazing. But the JavaScript code behind is pretty small. It's like 3-line code. So yeah, that is the beauty of JavaScript. But actually the whole thing, like this whole button, is actually created with the help of CSS. So if you're going forward to it, you should know somewhat CSS, but this project have already inbuilt CSS codes. So you don't have to actually go inside it. And yeah, to like it's pretty small CSS code, and yeah, it's just for beautifying all the HTML. All you have to understand is the HTML part and the JavaScript part. So that is what you have to understand. Other than that, it's not really like thing. Okay, so I want to show you what will happen if I don't like use JavaScript at all. So just delete the JavaScript. Okay, and Control S. Now go to the page. Now we don't have to refresh it since it's live server. So see, now the whole dark mode, light mode thing just disappeared. Nothing is happening. It's just a toggle button. So yeah, it's like pretty dull to be honest. So now let's write the code. I'll write the code for both HTML at the same time, JavaScript, but since HTML is like I can just make you understand what is happening inside the HTML thing. So basically out here you can see inside CSS there are two files that we are using. Okay, people are waiting in the lobby. Wait a second. I'll take the questions at the end of the session. So yeah, sorry. You can see in the CSS file, inside CSS file, that two files are there. Allmin.css and style css, and also there is a file called web fonts. So you must be like so confused, what the hell is this, I don't know all this stuff. Like, for the people who don't know, obviously there are so many people who already knows. So actually I have implemented font awesome. So also let me show you this, because maybe a lot of you don't know it. So yeah, font awesome is like when you want to implement cool icons to your website, this is where you should go. So it's pretty easy to like start with font awesome. Just go to font awesome, and there are two ways to use it, but I have downloaded the font awesome folder. So people are waiting in the lobby. Okay, so I have downloaded the font awesome folder, so that's why it's like a zip folder has come up, and inside the zip folder, okay, let me show you that part also. uh, okay, yeah, inside this zip folder, or where is my font awesome, yeah, so here is my font awesome folder. I have extracted it, and inside the zip folder there are two parts: web fonts and css. So in the css, you have to just attach all dot main css. Like, you have to just copy, and like just copy this file and put it into your css folder of the project, like for the projects you will be making where icons will be used. And also you can use all, but all dot mean is like the minified version of css. So like it will be much more easy for you if you are not going to like heavy coding and stuff. So, and then also you have to embed this web fonts folder. So just copy and paste the web fonts folder to your project. Okay, so it's like pretty easy. Nothing has to be done. And then after doing it, you will obviously make your own style.css. Like, I'm just saying it for any further projects that you will be making. So that time just attach your style.css, and then at the same time attach your all.main css, and done. It's all done. So now let's go back to the index.html. So index.html, we have again used the implementation of input. So remember when we used the first time, at that time, like in that whole thing, this time we used the input and the type was a button. So a button popped up. So over here we are using a checkbox. So generally actually a checkbox will pop up, so where you can check and stuff. And I have given the ID chk, and inside I have given a label, and these are all the font awesome classes. So if you don't know you don't have to actually like memorize the classes. These are all, this will all come like search icons, LinkedIn suppose. Okay, my amazing internet is not working. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry. I guess, okay, it's not working at all. Okay, yeah, it's working. So, where should I go? Let's go for address card. So, oh my god, takes a lot of time to load. So yeah, you have to just go here, search your fonts which you want to, and over here the code is already ready for you. So just copy HTML and then paste in your index.html or wherever, like obviously index.html file, and yeah, it is done for you. So everything you don't have to memorize, it's all out there. I have just implemented the icons. Like this icon is for the moon and sun, as let me tell you about this. Yeah, so just I have like, this is the sun and this is the moon. So that's why I have implemented it. And wait, where is it? Where is it? Huh. So this is inside a div box, and literally we did nothing. And for the paragraph tag, JavaScript 101. And as I said, always embed your script element at the end of the body tag. I mean, always, as in I recommend it the best. So script src. So here, as we did in the last project, we were doing inline script. So inline JavaScript is like doing it. Wait, where was it? Wait. Yeah, so doing it like the script and doing inside the script only I have written the JavaScript. But over here you can see I have made a separate JavaScript folder for it, although it was not necessary, but yeah, it's like a difference is necessary to understand. So to just attach the script.js file, I have used the src attribute, which is short for source. And after using this, it will just link your script.js to the index.html file. So now let's go to the script.js. As I have already deleted the script.js part, so I have to do it all over again. And let's hope this time okay, wait. Let's hope the code is all fine. So now what I'll do is I will create a constant checkbox. Okay. And again, I will search the whole document for the ID using .get element by ID, and I'll be searching for, wait, which ID was it? The ID was checkbox. Oh, sorry, the ID was chk. So I will just use chk. Oh, chk. So this is what I'm explaining. This is just targeting the checkbox using the ID chk. So checkbox is actually this checkbox. So it is just targeting this whole checkbox using the ID chk. That is what I did. Now coming back to the next code, what I want to do is now I will add checkbox.add event listener. Like as I said, you can always use document dot add event listener or else use small elements as well. So right now I'm using an element, that is checkbox dot add event listener. So after doing it, I am giving the code change. And this I have already like told you in the theory part, which I think went boring. But if you still remember, it's an arrow function. So we are using the fat arrow like fat arrow stuff. So it's just like equal to greater than sign. And now I'll give the function. Inside the function, it will say like whenever it will change, it will start a event. Okay, just hang in there. I'll write the code and I will make you understand everything what is happening here. So right now inside this, where you will write, okay, wait, let me end it. Yeah, still I'm getting a red thing. What is it? Okay, yeah, sorry. So I'm also a newbie, so don't mind my mistakes. So over here we will write, we want to change the theme, right? What we are doing is we are adding event listener on it. So when it will change, I want to run it a function. The function, like whenever it will change, the function will run. And basically what we will do is we will change the theme of the function. So basically here we want to change the theme of the website. So generally after writing this, then you go back to your CSS and then you will like make another CSS for your theme. But I have already made the theme. Like I have made body dot dark. It is the theme that I want to trigger when the function will change. So when it will change, that time the background will become red, and and during that theme the paragraph, the text color will change to color white. So don't worry about the CSS since it is already embedded. So just look into the script.js. So now I have to write the change of the website. So let's go for it. So what we will do is we will write document dot body, because I want to give it, and class list dot toggle. So we have to write toggle because the button has to toggle. So when the button will toggle, only then we can like change the thing. and we will do dark. Since in the CSS we have already mentioned dark, so with this code I think we will target the document body class list and toggle the dark class on it. And after writing this code, I guess it's enough. Let's see what happens. Oh, I just hope it happens. Okay, it's not. Anyway, wait. It takes a time. It takes a little bit time in my laptop because it's just a newbie laptop. And yeah, I have to see some mistakes I have done. I guess I did not do much mistakes. Yeah, so it should come. And if it's still not coming, then oh my god. Wait a second. So I have already, let's decode the whole code, okay? So I have already given the function document.body, and I have also implemented the code class list dot toggle dark. So with this, whenever we will like do dark theme, like whenever we'll toggle, at the same time it will go to like it will toggle back to dark theme, right? So this is what I want to implement. So I don't know what is happening. What is happening? Wait, is this all fine? Yeah, it's fine. I'm not able to do it right now in front of you guys. Oh my god. Yeah, 1 second. I will just find it in the live server once more. It should come by now. So these are some very nice mistakes that happen. So whenever this mistake comes, just go to your console. It's not showing anything. So the JavaScript is not happening. But if there is any mistakes, it will actually show over here. So it's not showing. Though it does not actually have any mistake. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Constant checkbox document.id. Everything is given. Okay. Wait. Okay. I'm so not doing JavaScript right now. Checkbox.document.getElement by ID. And okay, so checkbox, and I have written chk, and at the same time chk is there. What if it's checkbox, just checkbox, but it's just not making any sense. Yeah, it will not make sense. Oh wait, so checkbox.add event listener, and it will change accordingly. And I have also added the arrow function and also implemented change at the same time. Before, whatever I was not doing right, I have written it right now, or at least I think I have written it right. But yeah, still it's not happening. So wait, I have to decode it right now. Uh, document.body class list dot toggle, or else let's not waste time. Since I am busted in front of you all, let's just go and see the JavaScript code in front of you all as well. So see, as I have written constant check document.getElement by ID, it's also same check.add event listener. So let's just copy the whole code because it was working right then. I don't know why it's not working right now. And now we can do the difference from here. So, oh my god, what I did. I have written the value checkbox, so that's why it was not happening. I have to name it chk. So, yeah, that is why it was not happening. And it is a very silly mistake. Like, you have to always keep in mind the name of the IDs that you want to trigger, the name of the class you want to trigger. So, if you do just one from like one place to another, so it will not happen. So yeah, let's just click this code out, and I hope you guys Okay, yeah. Where is the site? Yeah, I guess it's here. So अब तो होना चाहिए. Yeah, अब हो गया. So yeah, it happened right now because I messed up the name of the constant function at that time. So it will be chk only because I have when I have like given add event listener, I have attached chk to it. So if I have named chk dot add event listener, I have also have to name that thing chk as well. But if I have like done checkbox over here, then also then I can write checkbox dot add event listener and it would have worked. But both have to be same. It can't be one A and another B. Okay. So yeah, sorry for that, guys. So this is what will happen when you do silly codes like me. So don't be like me and do your own code and do it step by step. So after doing all of this stuff, now all what I want you to do is some nice JavaScript. So these are the JavaScript for interactive web pages, right? So what if you want to do JavaScript, like you want to use JavaScript and replace any other programming languages with JavaScript? For example, you want to like suppose instead of using Python or C programming, you can also use JavaScript to write stuff. So as I have like taught you, okay, people are waiting in the lobby. Wait, where is, I have to accept. Yeah, so as I have already taught you about variable, so let's go back to that. So we already know there are three types of variable declarations, right? So one is var, one is let, one is constant. Okay, so right now it's not showing it because the best way to do JavaScript is like inside HTML tag, because then you can see whatever you are doing. So I'll write another index.html or maybe third.html and I'll do inline JavaScript. So don't worry about it. It's like the same JavaScript, but it's like better because then you can see all the difference, like whatever I'm doing right now, you will see it in the console. But if I just do JavaScript, now I have to run it in the compiler, and yeah, it will be a whole lot thing. But of course, if you want to run it in compiler, you just have to use the code node and then write the name of your file, and then yeah, so it's a different thing. Okay, so let's start with variable. Okay, so this is the homework actually I want you to do. So what I want you to do is, don't write third HTML, create a file or maybe create a folder with your name. Okay, so for example, I will create Shantani underscore my title. So I will write Dev. Okay, so suppose you have a very long title, so you can write just the initial of the title and just end it. So inside this folder you will start with a HTML file index.html and just write exclamation mark enter, generating the boilerplate. And now you will, okay, sorry, now you will add the script tag, script. Okay, script, uh, to do the inline HTML thing. So inside this script inline HTML thing, wait, so I was firstly what I want you to do is create a variable, create a variable uh, and name it your uh, what should you name it as? Name it name it MLSA. Okay, and then uh, assign the value, assign the value your name to it. Okay, your name. Okay, so this is what we will do over here. Var, since var is actually a backdated declaration of variable, I will tell you to use let or constant. So if you use constant, of course you can't change the value later on, so use let, best practice. So use let and then declare MLSA. It's the name of the variable. Now write your name. I'll write Shantani. Okay, now after writing Shantani, what I want you to do is, now I'll teach you about string concatenation. So string concatenation is something very nice which you will learn Like if you have ever done conjunctions when you were a kid, then you will understand this. Conjunction is like attaching two sentences together. So string concatenation is also similar. You are like attaching two string or like one string and a variable. So everything is okay with string concatenation. So you will write console.log, and for using string concatenation, suppose I will write uh, what should I write? I should write that I am and then plus. You have to attach, like to attach another variable to it, you have to write plus. And then since I have already declared this value inside a variable, just write the name of the variable, MLSA. Okay, so don't forget like the whole uppercase and lowercase stuff, because JavaScript is case sensitive. So don't write MLSA short and then expect to print the value Shantini to it, because it won't. So console.log Shantini, and I will press Control S. Uh, Wait till it gets saved. It's saved. Okay, yeah. So now all I want is to show you in the live server. So see, in the live server it's showing nothing. So because we did not actually do anything to the HTML, right? So just open your inspect element. After opening install element, go to console and you'll see I am Shantini. So see, there are no spaces between. So just give a space out here, and the space will come up here as well. I am Shantini. So suppose you don't want to always use this plus and stuff, you just wanted to do it the easy way. So now here comes string interpolation. String interpolation is similar like string concatenation, only you don't have to really use a lot of plus and everything. All you have to do is, instead of inverted commas, you will use this thing. This thing is like in the left side of your keyboard. So you will just write, wait, sorry. Oh, how did I come to the end? So you will just write, wait a second. Sorry, someone came to the house. So yeah, so just write this and then I am. So you don't have to write plus now. So you will use the dollar sign and curly braces. So inside the curly braces, name your variable. So the variable name was MLSA, right? So after doing it, you will see I am MLSA popping up. So I'll tell you the advantage of string interpolation is you don't have to really typecast any of the like thing. If it's to if it's an integer, then you have to make it to string or something like that. String interpolation will help you in concatenating any kind of data types. So string interpolation is pretty much recommended, but also it's totally your wish. So you will see again I am Shantini is coming up. So after this, as we have talked about functions. So this will be the last thing. So this is your homework actually. You have to create a variable and name it MLS and assign the value, and then just write the name of the thing and write it in write it in your console 2 times. Okay, and then the same stuff you have to do it in function. So let's do a function stuff. So I will firstly function is function keyword. So this is the function keyword, and after this I'll write the name of the function. For example, again it's MLSA. So now a lot of MLSA have come up. Anyway, so now I will write function MLSA. So here will be two parameters, as you know. The parameters will be love plus hurt. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, not love plus hurt. You can't write like this. Parameters have to be like separated using commas. So love plus hurt, and then just add the parameters, just like simple addition function. So you will give return. So return love plus hurt. Okay, so this will act, what it will do is it will, when the console.log will be there, sorry, not console.log, when you will call the function, suppose, I'll call the function mlsa love hurt, oh not love hurt. So here you will write the arguments. So suppose you love mlsa 3000 times and you hurt it a little less 100 times, so you will just write it using this. So it will give you 3100 because it will give the addition function. So yeah, this is it, but actually this part is not part of your homework, so you don't really have to do it. Oh, also to like introduce you to how to comment in JavaScript. So commenting in JavaScript is similar to HTML. This is a single line comment and this is a multi-line comment, like a lot of lines if it's there, so that time you will use it. So it's not a lot of lines though, but yeah, you can make it a lot of lines. So see, so if you are using a single line comment, you are trying to do, so see, it will not be a comment. So for doing multi-line comment, you have to use slash and apostrophe. So sorry, star, whatever it is. So yeah, so this is the difference between single line comment and multi-line comment. And after doing all of it, whatever I've given as this uh, comment, you don't have to do it. You just have to create this variable and you have to log console and print I am MLSA and I am MLSA using string concatenation and interpolation. And if you do it, it's cool, like you have understood. It's not necessary, but yeah, if you do it, and I'll tell you how to like do it. So after doing all of this in your computer, how will it, like how will I see it? So like suppose you have done it, so all you have to do is right now, like the this Shandini Dev is your the folder, homework folder. So you will remember this folder and you'll go to GitHub. And also for people who don't know about this whole stuff, like um, because I'm doing it for everyone. So maybe you don't know how to use the, like how to create PR and everything and use CMD. So GitHub is this amazing features. Like you really don't have to know anything. Just go to add files and upload files. Now upload file, you will be able to choose your files. So from here you can choose the file which you want to do, like index.html, like just choose the folder. Actually it will be better because choosing your folder will be like the whole folder will come up with your name, and then commit changes. So when you commit the change, wait, let me do it to you. Which one should I show? I'll show this one. Okay, so JSMLSA open. Okay, I have to write something. Choose it. So in this index.html is coming up. So I will say you, since the folder is not coming up, so just write your HTML as the name. Like don't write index.html, write Shandini like Shandini.html and write any messages, like meaningful messages, like I have added my codes and done string concatenation. Meaningful comment messages, although it's not necessary, and basically it's recommended you always create a new branch. But right now it's not recommended, like it's not recommended for this session. So you can just commit to the main and just commit changes. So when you are committing the changes, what is happening is the changes are occurring in your repository, like your forked repository. It's not happening in somebody else's repository. So that's why you have to like uh, then you have to merge it. So how will you merge it? Just go to contribute and you will see this open pull request coming up. So go to open pull request and this whole thing will come up about all of your changes, and then click on create pull request. Now, since I don't want to create pull request because I don't want to mess up that file right now, and I have also not given the real Shantari Dev file, so right now I will not create, but you can just go, you can contribute, you can open PR and then merge it. So after that, I will get a PR from here, like I will get a PR that you have done it, then the option will come to me whether I want to merge it or not. So yeah, that is it. And yeah, that is it for this session. Now I will uh, take questions. Okay, wait, my laptop is crashing again. 1 second. And sorry for the fan sound. A lot of stuff is happening in the laptop right now, and oh, okay. Anyway, as I said, right now I will be taking the questions. So if you have any questions, you can ask me right now by raising your hand. And let me just open the PPT. Something is happening, problem is generating. So when you do a lot of VS Code stuff all your days, so this is what happens. At times it crashes. So yeah, be ready for it. Be ready for the crash. And sorry for the delay. Okay, wait. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so someone has question. Snehangshu, I will unmute your mic. And for today's session, as I have already taken a lot of time, I'll be taking one question only. So yeah, Snehangshu, you can unmute and ask your question. I guess, yeah. Uh, Wait. For some reason, I'm not able to hear. So you can always ask question right now if you have any question related to the event. And can someone tell me if I'm audible? Because I don't think I am. Can someone raise your hand and say if I'm audible? Raise your hand if I'm audible. Okay, yeah, I'm audible. So no one has any question. Uh, so so for now, I guess you can always ask me question in my LinkedIn, or else you can search, like mail me about any doubts happening about the session if you are shying away from asking question. And yes, right now I have taken a lot of time already, and thank you so much for your amazing cooperation, for attending this event. So nice. And yes, what I was going to say is that every one of you will be getting a feedback form in your email after this event ends. So remember to fill up the feedback form, and your attendance will be seen from the recording itself. So now I will be stopping the recording. Okay, stopping.